Hi, in this video we're going to go over a general wrist warm-up. This is what I normally do before any floor-based work. It's really good to, one, over time improve the mobility of the wrists. There's a lot of people that actually have quite restricted or stiff wrists. This can affect the functioning and movement of the elbow, shoulder and neck, so it's always good to improve over time the mobility of the wrist and fingers. It's also good, as we said just before, any floor-based work. So I'm going to put my timer on here, and we're going to do a follow-along session just to keep this between 3 to 4 minutes. So coming into a tabletop position, generally I like to tuck my toes under at the back, adds an extra bit of stretch for the back of the feet, and then we're going to come into a shortened tabletop position. So I tend to come into the position with the hands under the shoulders and then just bring them back slightly. So we'll generally start with pushing back onto the toes and then coming forward and back, forward and back. So with this gentle movement, it's just starting to get a little bit of movement, flexion in the wrists, flexion and extension movement through the wrists. It's also a nice way of just coming into contact with the ground for the first time, feeling the sense of movement as the weight changes position from the heel of the hand through the knuckles and into the fingers. And each time you can go just that little further. What we're aiming for is a strongish stretch, or building up to a strongish stretch or sensation in the wrists. You can move backwards and forwards at your own pace. It's nice to begin with to make the movements quite slow so that they're considered. You can feel the differences and changes in pressure through the wrist, forwards and back. And then as you come towards that end range, sensing the pressure through the fingertips and coming back again. That's great. From this position, we're going to turn the fingers outwards. I like to have the wrists a little closer together, and we're going to move left to right. Again, starting off relatively light, easy, and over time we can increase the range that we rock and move through, and also the pressure that we put through. As you move your pelvis back, there's less weight through the hands, and so the force that's going through the wrists is lighter. As you move forward and bringing your center of gravity over the wrists, it will increase the loading and the stretch. Coming left and right. And so with this, I tend to just allow the heel of the hand that we're leaning to that side to raise off the ground a bit. You can keep it down on the ground if you like. Again, as a general and gentle warm-up, I think it's fine for the wrists to raise off of the ground. Just a few more seconds with this. And then we're going to change to bringing the fingers to face towards the knees. Now, depending on how flexible you are, you may only be able to come around a short distance. Again, over time, ideally working on improving that range. You'll find with this over time anyway that the range of movement you have in these joints, so that's shoulder, elbow and wrists, increases over time. So don't try to push it too far, don't come into an uncomfortable or painful range. If there's any sharper or too strong sensations, make it easy. I always say it should be just achievable, a nice little challenge but not too much. This sensation in the wrist should be nice. After doing this gentle warm-up, your wrist should feel warm, not overworked. As I said, the idea with this is that you would then go on and do some floor-based work So forwards and backwards. If you want to make this stronger, you can bend one elbow at a time. That's great. For the last movement, second to last movement, we're going to bring the hands forwards again. This time just go round in a few circles one way. Again, feeling and sensing that weight distribution change as you move round and back the other way. Great. And the last movement, I'm going to be turning the palms face up, fingers towards you. Now this can be a very strong sensation and stretch for people who are not used to this. So start off bringing the backs of the palms on the floor and just gently lean weight into them. As you improve over time, you should be able to put more and more weight, and you can make it stronger by bringing the hands forward, further forward. Just a few more seconds of this. Great. Just to end off, interlace the fingers, slowly rotate the wrists in one circle in one direction, a few times, and then back again the other way. Shake out the wrists, and you're ready to move on to your other exercises.